Patrick McNeil joined on the pregame show by Cape Breton Eagles rookie forward Kian Bell. Kian, we're just starting off the second half of the season, I guess we can say. What are your thoughts on the year thus far for you and the team?
It's been a rough year, as many know at the start of the year, but with the new coach coming in and everything, it looks like we're really starting to turn things around, and it looks pretty promising, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, you mentioned the new coach. You win your last 2 games, the 2 games that you played in the weekend. What has it been like playing under Chad Cassidy? What kind of style of plays he implemented?
It's awesome. It's super fast-paced. Everything's super simple. No shortcuts or anything, so it's just normal, fast hockey, yeah.
You come into the Eagles after being drafted late in the draft, and then you ended up making the team at 18. When you were drafted late, did you have any expectation of making the Q? What did they tell you when they picked you?
Obviously, my first year coming, I only stayed there for 48 hours, knowing that there wasn't really a chance that I'd make the team with that size and everything. So I went back, and after my second year midget, I thought I had a good chance. But then I ended up getting the AP for about half the year of the third year midget and made the team this year.
You were born in Ottawa, so this game in Gatineau, I guess we can say, is a bit of a homecoming. You've been kind of all over the place. Do you have any friends around this parts? Is it a bit special to be in this region?
Well, I don't really know too many people around here. I have one friend from back home who's playing in the CJCB, so he might come out to the game, and got to see him.
Hopefully you can get a ticket, because that's been kind of a tough issue for sure with everything going on with the attendance restrictions and whatnot. You mentioned being an affiliate player last year. You get into 9 games. How important was that for your development?
It was awesome. My confidence started going up, especially after my first game, and brought it back into midget and had a good year. And coming into this training camp and preseason stuff, I kind of knew what to expect, and I didn't really feel out of place. It really helped.
You have the record of being the 4th fastest Eagle to start your career with a goal. Just walk us through that play, basically your first shift.
It was me, Lucas Canning, and Logan Camp, and we had a really good offensive shift. And the puck went from the corner up to Jarrett Baker, and Baker passed it across to Squires, and he shot it, and it kind of hit a leg and kicked out into the slot where I happened to be, and it was just one of those shots that went exactly where he wanted it to. So it was pretty lucky, but it was pretty cool, yeah, especially in front of my hometown and family.
It was a great moment. Now, you talk about family, your mom, Fiona Smith-Bell. People might remember her last name, I guess, is Smith, because she played for the women's national team. How much of an influence was she on your career? She won a silver at the Olympics in '98. Do you remember her playing at all?
No, I didn't get to see her play because she ended up stopping before I was born, but she's obviously had a lot of impact on my hockey career. Both of my parents have, and my uncle as well, as he played pretty high-level hockey too. They've kind of been there for me the whole way and given me advice.
You've been moving around a lot in your life, including when you moved to Nova Scotia. You didn't actually have the chance to try out for U18, from what I understand. Tell us how that summer went when you moved to Nova Scotia.
It was pretty hectic. We ended up driving across the entire country, and I didn't make it in time to actually try out for a major midget team. We heard about it was a brand new league at the time. It only had 1 year, and it was the U16 AAA league. So I played for that and went to Newbridge for baseball, and kind of worked out in the end, I guess. I got to AP with the Subarus too.
You talked about baseball, and you had mentioned to me before you had to decide between playing baseball and hockey because you did play at such a high level. Tell us about your baseball career.
I started playing baseball when I was probably around the same age as Adam, around there compared to hockey. I was big into soccer, and my parents convinced me into trying baseball, and I tried it, and I just loved it. And there's been multiple times where I debated hockey or baseball throughout the years because I played the top level in both. It was kind of hard to make a decision, but when Cape Breton took me in the draft, it was really an eye-opener and saying, yeah, I should probably stick to this hockey thing.
What position were you in baseball?
I played middle infield.
One thing that sticks out with you on the ice, I think you use this to your advantage. You're a bit of a smaller guy. Has that caused any issues for you, or has that been something you've been able to make into a strength?
When you're younger and before contact comes into play, it was a big advantage just being able to fly around out there quicker than most of the bigger guys without them being allowed to touch you. But when Bantam started coming around, I was still really undersized, and it was a factor ever since Bantam. It was always a disadvantage, I guess. I worked really hard to get back, to get into a good weight, I guess you could say, good height and weight, and definitely been a lot easier now that I've put on some extra weight.
We talked about the game where you scored your first goal. You didn't even know you were going to be playing until very close to game time. Just how quick was it before the game started that you knew you were going to be playing?
There's no scratches in midget, so it was my first time really experiencing that. And Matt Anthony came in to me after the warm-up and said, "You're in." To be honest, I didn't know that there was going to be a scratch. So
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I hope so. So I didn't really know until after the game they had to scratch someone.
You talked about going back to the Subaru last year, your league MVP. What did it mean to win that honor?
It's obviously a great honor seeing the players who've won it in the past. It's pretty cool to be mentioned in the same sentence as them. It was a big honor.
If somebody hadn't seen Kian Bell play before, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I feel like I'm a pretty offensive player who has good vision and good speed and can make stuff happen.
Well, we look forward to seeing your progression continue. Best of luck, Kian. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
That's Kian Bell joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Uniglass Plus, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.